Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to start the next week's update ready vloggy thing like right away because oh my god. So I finished Skyward and oh yay. I mean, okay. It's not probably like Mistborn have to read the next one right away. It's not to that, but it was really good. I love the way he sets up the world. Actually, I think that is my favorite part of fantasy is the world building, the grand scale of it, and I really like how he does it with the incorporating bits of history. Like the fantasy books, I guess, where you don't get as much back history, you're just thrown into that right now fantasy world. It depends. It depends on how it's written, but most of the time it's still not going to make it to like top tier favorite. But yes, so Skyward, so good. Didn't see how the end was going to come. Definitely didn't get as much of the people history that I thought we would, but that's also probably because he is building up to the next one where we will find more little bits of history sprinkles. So yeah, the ending twist bit there, did not see that coming. That was very good. Like I read it and I immediately went and jumped into the other room and like said something, and my kids were like, why would you say that happily? So I had to get the physical copy of the book because my headset got destroyed by an accidental full glass of milk and a 7-year-old. But I mean, I can't blame her for being just like me. At least I didn't like ruin objects when I dumped over whole glasses of things. Probably. My parents don't have to answer that question. Okay, but by finishing Skyward though, that ended the first task for me, and I get to move on to the Yule Ball. For the Yule Ball, I picked the 40-point prompt of people from different backgrounds coming together. I don't know, there's probably so many options for this, but it was very hard for me to find one that I would like to read, but not like, I think I'd had one that was like a reread possibility, and I was like, I don't want to do a reread though. I'd asked them the question, and Tabby with Gryffindor Bookworm and Leanda Brooks, they both answered that we could read a manga, they just wouldn't necessarily recommend it as much because you are trying to get this higher page count to be able to get the bonus. We have enough chunky books though. I think we're definitely gonna make the bonus at this point. Because of this, I was able to pick up Fairy Tale Volume 1 for the 40-point prompt. Fairy Tale is set in a magical world where wizards join guilds or associations to be able to make money. So, and Fairy Tale is the name of one of the larger guilds. Because of this, I was able to pick up Fairy Tale Volume 1. This book starts off with our main character, Lucy, who is a celestial wizard. In this magical world, wizards form and join into guilds, and Fairy Tale is actually one of the very large guilds. But they also have kind of a weird reputation. They're known to be kind of strong and quirky, and also to cause a lot of chaos. Like it shows her reading Sorcerer's Magazine, I think that was the name of it. And it was talking about how the Fairy Tale Guild destroyed 7 public houses in this town where they took out the bandits. And apparently that's quite commonplace. And while she's in this town to find more keys, because these keys are what summon these celestial spirits, but that's what her type of magic does. She makes contracts with these spirits and they help fight for her. And in this town she comes across our other main character, Natsu. Lucy, Natsu, Happy. Happy's adorable. He is a cat creature who can transform himself into slightly other creatures, but mostly he's a cat. And he helps take care of Natsu because Natsu is an adorable man boy who is also a fire wizard. He's a very strong wizard who eats fire, and thus fire can't hurt him. Yeah, so the first volume is all about her trying to join the Fairy Tale Guild. That's like the one she set her sights on, and she's going to join it. And when she meets him, she doesn't even know that he is part of the guild. He just helps kind of her break out of this charm enchantment that another wizard has put on all the ladies there in the town to try to capture them. I should stop talking because spoilers. But it's not that long, but it's actually more longer. Nope, bad grammar. It is actually a little bit longer than what I thought it would be. It ended up being 193 pages before the little bonus at the end. So still a nice bit of pages to get to add on to my counter. And now that I have also finished that one, I can move on to the second task. This one is going to be an ebook, but I don't have a tablet anymore, so I'm going to be having to read it on my phone, and it'll probably take me all week. Hopefully not. But I will update you as we go. Hope you're having fun in your reading journeys as well. Bye! Alright guys, so we have finally finished chapter 4, The Egg. This one, I picked the 40-point prompt, which was to read a book with gillyweed on the cover. And for most of the ones in this readathon, I tried to read ones that I already owned, where there's like audio, which most of my books are, physical, or ebook. And this one was actually an ebook that I got from Kindle First Reads back in 2017. It sounded interesting enough. It sounded like a contemporary fiction type, which I was reading a lot at that point, I guess. I kind of think it was in between some of my fantasy readings. I don't even remember anymore. But I'd only vaguely read the summary again when I found it in my Kindle library, and I was like, it has grass. It will work. I really wish I'd kept looking and hadn't read this book. It was slow and plodding for pretty much all of the book. It was kind of a struggle to even read 50 pages a day. Did I even tell you the name? It is The Unremembered Girl by Eliza Maxwell. I don't know how to describe this book without giving a lot of spoilers away, or it was just super frustrating. It was super frustrating. And it's not even, like I said, I could barely want to even read it. It didn't pull you in and make you want to read it. Even with its little glimpse chapter at the very beginning, there's like the, oh my god, why is he walking through the woods in the middle of the night talking about death? Thinking about death. And then you jump to a separate point of view of the girl who has no name when the family first actually encounters her, and they finally convince her to come to their house so that they can help try to find her people, where she came from, take care of her. And she's obviously been traumatized. Like, when you finally, 50% of the way in, where it is a lot of non-emotionals, it's just so frustrating. Because they can't, when they talk about her trauma, one, they don't even have her talk about her trauma, because from the beginning, first few chapters, you don't even get her point of view. Hardly anymore. It's only Henry's point of view. And then, when you finally find out what has happened to this girl, never talks about how old they are, or what she is. You find out he's 23 at some point. But I guess you're supposed to believe she's somewhere in the 18 to 20 something range. I mean, she's malnourished, underfed, who knows? But they fall in obsessive kind of love, even though she is immensely traumatized, and nobody tries to get her real help because she doesn't want to see a doctor. She doesn't trust doctors. She doesn't trust anybody but Henry. Red flags. So many red flags. Not even in the way that books work out where people can get better. Because nobody gets better in this book. There is like no character growth. 326 pages. And feel like there should have been a content warning, even though it was barely discussed in the book. It was just a bit to give her backstory, and it was thrown in there halfway through the book. And so obviously she was neglected as a child. Then apparently she was otherwise abused. And then on top of that, she sold off to human traffickers and witnesses other abuse atrocities. But it doesn't have Eve say that. No, it has Henry say that to his brother, the sheriff's deputy, asking why his brother has never brought these people in, because apparently they come through town every few months or something. Well, not through town, but through the shack in the woods that everybody kind of knows about. But nobody knows actually what goes up on there, except apparently the paid off sheriff's department does, or the one paid off sheriff's person does. And then the human trafficking part is brought up like 2 more times in the book. And that's it. What? So you just throw that in there as just a little trauma spice backstory? Your book is slow. No emotional depth to people. And you think this will make it an okay thing? Throw in the surprise baby, because apparently she was pregnant before she ran away. She probably didn't know she was pregnant before she ran away from her traffickers. And then she didn't tell anybody. So never went to a doctor for that. Never went to the doctor for her emotional problems. And even that is the way everything was done. I feel like I gave away a lot of points of the book, but then I left bits out that probably leads to confusion and stuff, but there definitely should have been warnings for this book of those types of things. I can't say that I would recommend this book because the writing itself wasn't amazing. It wasn't. There's just no emotionalness to the characters to actually make you care about them, care about what they're struggling with, care about, what happened to them even almost. And there's no growth. And the way the book ended, it was not right to those characters, kind of how the book ended. Nope. So that was my 40-point prompt for the egg, and that was super kind of upsetting. So needed a little bit of happy. And after the Unremembered Girl, I felt like reading something a little bit lighter because that was just irritating me out of my mind. It just, yeah, okay. So I picked up Love and War Volume 5. In this one, you actually get to follow kind of one of the secondary characters within the main group of the library task force. You get to follow Kashihara. Oh my god. Have I already forgot his name? I will insert here under book picture. But in this one, it kind of goes into a bit more about him and somebody that he grew up with and like their kind of connection. But it wasn't exactly the light, fluffy read that I thought it was going to be. Kind of like the other ones that are fluff, goof, kind of, of course, people trying to steal books, ban books in the library, fighting them against it. But in this one, the main character is actually arrested, kidnapped for interrogation. And yeah, so a lot of the book, he's in an interrogation room where they're mentally tormenting him, saying, why would you do this to a deaf girl and blah, blah. But he didn't do anything to her. He gave her a book, and it's somebody that he's known their whole lives. And somebody else took the book that he gave her out of proportion, and rumors started, and all of a sudden he was being arrested. Library test people are trying to get him out, and our main character, whose name starts with an I, and I can't say it right now, also insert, but she has the idea to actually go to the girl to get her to just say what happened and that they would have to let him go. But of course, the men don't want to involve her because he said not to tell his family, and that would be kind of telling his family. But of course she goes and does it anyway. She goes and gets Marie and brings her, and they free him. And he realizes that, you know, she's not a little kid, like he remembers her. And yeah, you know, cutesy, cutesy, cutesy. So it was a little bit darker than some of their other ones, but still. So overall, it was okay. After that, we might watch Red Notice later. I have cupcakes to eat, and I will get over being irritated at the last book and start the Sea Witch tomorrow for my next portion of my readathon. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the readathon. If you have decided to join or just enjoying your books that you have been reading in general, I'd love to hear what you guys are reading these days and talk books more. You guys can try to recommend me some books, and I might help you guys pick out your next read. Just super fun discussions. I hope you guys have a super great weekend though, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!